Brandon Aiyuk came out today and talked. Uh, Basically, since Jimmy Garoppolo put it all out there, it's pretty much documented that everyone said he wasn't practicing well. He had to come out and answer for it today. And first of all, some things that you notice about him, I don't know him very well. He hasn't talked that much. He got drafted during the pandemic year. I've never been around him in the locker room. He doesn't come out. They don't make him available that much. So what I've noticed is he's really shy. It's apparent. Like Debo isn't, Kittle isn't, Jimmy isn't. Ayuk is almost painfully shy. Like, you know how kids, how they can kind of like hide in a sweatshirt? They'll get their hands inside the sleeves. They'll put the hoodie over their face and tie the thing. That's him. He's like 22, 23, hiding in a sweatshirt at a press conference. So I feel for him right now. Like, he's not that type A personality. He's shy. And what he said, he started revealing stuff. He was like, well, me and someone asked him, like, who helped you hit the reset button on this season? He was like, well, me and Kyle had some words for each other at the bye week. I was like, what? We're like, what do you mean? Can you like tell us generally like what you mean? And he was like, no, just some words. So I was like, oh, okay, let me try this another way. So I said, is it hard not to take it personal when Kyle coaches you so hard? And he goes, that's not what it is. Everyone jokes around and says I have trust issues. It's like, well, I didn't know that about you. Everyone says I have trust issues, and I just had to understand that everyone in this organization wants the best out of me. What a thing for an athlete to say. I've never heard anyone say anything like that. So to me, what I took from this is however Kyle has been communicating to Aiyuk, it hasn't been working. And they had to sit down and hash things out. And Kyle basically had to say to him, like, look, man, I don't hate you. I really like you. And I really believe in you. And I want you to be good. And I'm on your side. And I think that got one positive result. We'll see if it gets more. But I think that's what's happening is Aiyuk was kind of shutting down on Kyle Shanahan's style of coaching.
Been talking a lot about Kyle and not being a servant leader. Yeah. And maybe, just maybe, this is the interaction and conversation that makes him realize that you cannot treat everybody the same. You cannot go out into the media, be passive aggressive, call people out. That's just not the way to run things. Everybody's different. Yes, they are football players. People have this mentality of, oh, they're football players. They're making money. They should be tough. Listen, these guys are human beings. They all have different backgrounds. They all have different things that make them tick. Sometimes it's not money. Sometimes it's a love for the game. Sometimes it's money for their family. It's not even for them. There's so many different ways that these guys are motivated and challenged, and they're just people. And so if you can't get down to their level in some of these situations, like it sounds like he had to with Aiyuk, if Aiyuk wasn't bold enough to maybe go to him and open up and have that conversation, he may have wasted away in San Francisco. So Kyle really has to start to realize when some of these players are going into their shell, they are turtling up a little bit, and he has to be willing to pick it out because not every player is going to challenge him and actually bring it to his attention. He has to figure this out.
Yeah. And it was just, I guess these press conferences are so, you hear the same words, the same cliches, the same phrases over and over again that almost like you don't tune it out, but it all bleeds together. Yeah. And then to hear an athlete say something like, I have trust issues, it's like the needle getting scratched across.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Like, oh, sorry, hold on. What? Can we come back to that part that you just said? And it's not like a therapy session, so I'm not going to say like, well, where do these stem from? But at the same time, it's like, whoa, does Kyle know this? Have you talked? I mean, this is really the essence of who you are. I mean, for you to reach your potential, this has to be factored in. Like this, your coaches all have to know this about you, and they have to develop a special trust with you. Wow, very interesting. Anyway, I thought it was.
You would think that this would have been information that was passed along, though, right? Like, how well did Herm Edwards know him? You have a good relationship with Herm Edwards. How well did he know Brandon Aiyuk, and was he willing to divulge some of that information?
But Herm seems easy to trust. He's not the kind of guy who's going to passive aggressively call you out in a press conference after the game. And I could see, like, if Kyle, he doesn't talk to you very much, and all you really hear is the stuff he says in press conferences, might think that he might hate you. And so maybe it was important for Kyle to understand the effect he was having on a young man who isn't exactly like Debo, and that they have. I'd like to think that Kyle listened and adjusted his teaching style. That he can do that. I'd like to think that he can do that.
Yeah, that's a great thing for him. The other thing that he has to understand is these are young kids. You don't think that Aiyuk sees a social media post about being in a doghouse and maybe that starts to play on him mentally, and he's going, wait, am I in a doghouse? Like, I didn't think about it like that, but now I'm starting to piece this and this and this together. Maybe I am in the doghouse, and that starts to weigh on you a little bit. So that's a possibility as well.
It's also no coincidence that Kyle Shanahan seems to like older players who aren't on social media.
Yes.
But you can't build a team based on players who aren't on Instagram. I mean, they're all going to be on Instagram, Kyle. Sorry.
Well, they've tried. I mean, they are the 4th oldest team in the league for the 2nd year running, 3rd year running, whatever. So yeah, they've tried.